So in this tutorial we will see how we can make a TikTok game. As you know, so a TikTok game is like um, played between two players that make moves like X and O. So whoever, like if X is placed in this entire row or entire column, that person will win. So this is how we this game will look like, and in the end we can like do the time travel as well. If we want to go to sixth move, then we can go. We can go back as well. We can go forward as well, and we can check the moves as well. Whatever moves you select, it will go and it will come back. So let's see how we can implement this. So in this, while implementing this game, we will like revise all the concepts we have covered till now, and we will get some in-depth knowledge about how the working of React as well. So without further ado, let's start. So first, I'll make a button using HTML tag. Then I will give it a class name is square. Okay. I will save it and I will go to DOM and check whether it is appearing or not. So here I can see it is showing. Okay. Now I need similar buttons, like 9 buttons like this. Similar. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy paste it. But as you can see, if I'm copying it again, like twice, then it starts throwing an error. Let's see what error it is showing. Like JSX expression must have one parent element. It can take only one parent element, but let's see what it is suggesting here. Like here you can see adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in a enclosing tag. Did you want a JSX fragment? So what it says is like if we are using adjacent JSX elements, then it should be wrapped inside a enclosing tag. Like we cannot return two elements like this or tags. Okay. And if we want to return it, then we should use this JSX fragment. Okay. Or you can use a div as well. So let's see. I will take a JSX empty fragment here and let's see what happens then. So here you can see the error is resolved. Now I will just prettify my code and save it. And here you can see now two X are appearing like adjacent to each other. Now similarly, what I'm going to do, I will, as I need 9x, so I will continue 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, 9x I need. Now I'll save it, then I'll go on the browser and check. So all of these are appearing adjacent to each other, and these are looking quite small as well. So let's give it some styling so that everything would be visible to you guys. So let's give it some width, like 50 pixel. Okay, 50 pixel is quite low still. 100 pixel, and then I will give it some height as well, like 100 pixel. 100 pixel. Okay, now it is looking quite good. So let's go here, and class name I have given it is square. So I will go to this CSS file. I will make a square component dot square. Okay, and I will save it. Now you can see the X are quite visible. Let's give some font size to X as well. Font size, how much you want? 10 pixel. No, 10 pixel will be quite low. 50 pixel, let's see. Mhm. Now it is quite clearly visible, but it is appearing adjacent to each other, right? So this is not how we want this to look like. So what we are going to do, we will take a div, okay, and inside this div we will take three of these button components, and similarly we will just copy paste this, okay, 2 3. Okay, now I will remove this unnecessary button tags. Now I'll save it. Now let's see how it will appear. So now you can see that it is coming in the form of a square, three axes on one row, then other row, then this three on the other row. So we can give this div a class name as well, like row, and we can just copy paste it here, then here, then here. Okay, nice. So as you can see that it is visible like at the extreme left. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this empty fragment as div, okay, so that I can give it some styling. Nothing will happen if I am using the div as well. So now what I'm going to do, I will give it some styling. Let's name it app only because I already have one class name as app which I'm going to use. See, we have app here. So now I will give it some width like 600 pixel, and margin I will give it margin auto. So you will see that it will come in the center. Then from top also let's give it some margin top so that it can give some leave some space on the top. 50 pixel. Okay, now it is like looking good. Okay, so as you can see we are like using this component a lot. Okay, this button component, every time we are just copy pasting it. Okay, so what we are going to do now, we will separate it out. We will make it as a reusable component. So what we are going to do, we will take one more file like button.jsx. Okay, inside this I will make a template, React template. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I will return this button here. Okay, and I will save it. And now in place of this, I will remove this and I will replace it with button. Okay, button, my button component. Okay, and similarly, what I'm going to do, I will remove each of this tags, button tags, and replace it with button component. Okay, so in order to select, like you can select it and then ctrl plus d you can do, and it will just select all the similar kind of elements or string or whatever you have, uh, choosing from going from the downside. Okay, now you can replace it all with button. Okay, now you can save it and let's see what will happen. You saved it. Now good, everything is looking good, right? So we just don't want this to show X only. What we would like here is it should have some like dynamic fields, right? So in order to pass the dynamic fields, what we are going to do, we will use the props concept. So here what we will do, we will pass the value, or we can take the value here. Here we can take the value, okay, and we will use it here. So if I'll write it like this, then let's see what will happen. So it got replaced by value, 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 value. Why did this happen? Because this value doesn't is it is treating it like a string. Okay, but if we want to use it dynamically, if we want to use this value, then we'll have to wrap it inside a curly braces. Okay, now it will take this value, whatever value it has, it will take here. Now we'll save it. Now let's see. Now it is appearing as blank. Okay, why is that? Because if we will come here, we haven't provided any props here. We are not passing any values here. Okay, so now what we are going to do? We will pass this value, some value. Okay, whatever value we need to show there. So we will just copy paste it here. Okay, moving down, you can click Alt and then click your left mouse button and you can do this. You can select multiple things. Okay, then like this you can give space and then paste this thing. Okay, if you will save, then you can see here everywhere one is appearing. Okay, if you want to change the value to 2, okay, that was the wrong location to change the value. Okay, 2 3 whatever you want to pass the value, you can just pass it here. Okay, here 6 7 8 9. Okay, here you I skipped. Okay, 6 7. Now I'll save. So now you can see here all the values are coming, but in between 6 has been typed. Okay, I will remove it here. Okay, now you can see every value is coming. Okay, now I will, but I don't want to show it here 1 2 3. I will show it either X or 0. So in order to do that, I will take one state, use the hook use state. I will take the value in declare value inside it and I will take set value and I will call this use state. So use state, what it does, it remembers the value that we have assigned any that the React wants to remember. Okay, it helps the React to remember the values. So now down we use this, but it won't resolve this issue. We also need to pass a function here which will let us change the values. Okay, handle click we will pass, then we will take here handle click function. Okay, what it will do, first of all let's see whether this function is working or not. I just will check. Clicked. Okay, now we will save it and we will go to the DOM. So here we are getting this error that identifier value has already been declared. Okay, here value is already declared and here again we are declaring the value. So what we are going to do, we will remove this thing. Okay, now we will save it and now it is working fine and we are clicking, nothing is happening. Let's see our console, what's going on. So whenever we are clicking this, then it is getting clicked. Every button has this handle click function. Okay, so this is working. Now when I am clicking this button, I want to set the value as X. So I will call set value and here I will pass X. Okay, X. Now I'll save it and you will see that now X is getting printed on whichever button I'm clicking. Fine. Yeah, that's great. So now as you can see, whenever I'm clicking the button, the button component is going down. Why? Because this X is appearing inside it and that is making this button component to shift its place. Now in order to resolve this, what we can do is we can style this row class. We can give it some display property like flex and then justify content as center. Okay, now let's see whether after doing this it will move or not. Okay, again I'll have to pass display flex justify content center. Okay, now let's type it, click it, and now it's not moving. Okay, so now we will copy this thing, and the class row has been already declared, so we will come here and we will just give it some style like display flex and justify content center. So what it does, this class do is it lets this css file know which element it needs to give the styling to. Okay, so now it has been fixed. Let's try again. So now you can see X is appearing on any button that I'm clicking because it remembers which button is getting clicked. That's how it is showing on that button only. Okay, so this thing is done. Now moving forward, but we don't want just to show the X thing. We also want to show the 0 also alternatively. First X, then 0, then X and 0. That's how the game is being played. So in order to do that, what we can do is we can to the parent component, and what we are going to do here, we will take an array of length 9. Const is, we will name it a square array, as we will be storing the values of each square here. Square array. Okay, then we will take a use state to remember the values of filled in each square. Okay, array, we will take array of 9 length and we will fill it with null value. So as if now our array will look like something this null till 9. Okay, it will have 9 nulls. Okay, now after that, doing this, what we are going to do, we will, like, instead of value here, we will pass this square arrays value at 0th index. It will be like this, and similarly we will assign each button a separate index. Okay, 9. So let's do this one by one. Okay, then remove it. Okay, now it's done. Now we will assign the indexing here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, then here 8. Okay, so now each button is having a different value. Okay, but now we need to change this value as well. Okay, so what we are going to do in order to achieve that, whenever a square is being clicked, we want to change its value. So we will call a handle click function. Okay, we will make it, and we will pass it to each square, which will help us in managing the state of the square, each square. On square click we will do, so we will pass this handle click here. Okay, and on every button component we will pass it. Okay, now going down, we will select each button component. Okay, now we will give a space and we'll call this. Okay, now inside this we will go, inside this button component we will go, we will now take value, and on square click function from here. Okay, now we don't need this state here, so we are just going to remove this. Okay, and we don't need this handle click as well, so we will remove this as well. Okay, now on square click we will call it here. Now everything's done. Now we will save it and we will go here inside our app component. Now inside handle click, what we are going to do, we will take a new array. Okay, we will assign, we will make it as an replica of square array. Okay, so what it will do, square dot slice, it will create a new array with same as the previous one. Okay, now we will go down. Now at new array index 0, we will assign the value x here. Then we will set the square array. We will set the new array like this. Okay, and then we can save. Let's see whether everything is working or not. Okay, we can't see anything here. Why? What is this? What might be the issue? So let's see. We will try to resolve this inside handle click. Debugging is also one of the most important part of writing codes. So let's see. I clicked here, but nothing is getting printed. That means that handle click function is not being called. So handle click function, I'm passing it here. Then on square click is here. Then I'm going inside. I'm calling the on square function. Everything looks fine. Okay. Then what is the issue? Okay, here the spelling of square here and the spelling of square here is different. That is why it is causing the issue. So let's just change the spelling and correct it and see. Okay, here also the spelling mistake is there. Okay, no issues, we can correct it. Square, so it's the right spelling now. Square, and here also. Okay, we need to change it here as well. Square is the right spelling. Okay, now we'll save it and we'll go again to the UI, and you can see it started working. But as you can see, like right now, it is only being shown at the first zeroth index. Okay, so as you can see in the code, this is like hard coded here, the index. Now what we are going to do, we will pass the index from here and we will do the index here as well, pass the index here as well, so that it can read the values. Now we can go here. Okay, nothing is still happening because we are not passing any index here. Okay, so what we are going to do, we will take the zeroth index here, we will take 1 here, then we will take 1 2 here. In a similar fashion, every index we will define here. Okay, 4 here, 5 here, then 6 here, 7 here, 8 here. Okay, nice. Now we'll save it. Let's, okay, so what it is saying. So here we can see that we are receiving a error called too many re-renders. React limits the number of renders to prevent an infinite loop. So why is this error occurring? So let's try to decipher it. Let's go, go to the code. So whenever I'm like clicking on this button, it is calling this function on square function. which in turn is taking calling this handle click function, okay, with this index. So when this function is getting called, what it is doing, it is creating a new array, a replica of this square array, okay, and then it is assigning x value at this index position, and then it is setting this square array as this new array, okay, setting the value of this square array, the value that this new array has, okay. So what in turn this does is it will re-render this whole component, which in turn will call this function as well, okay. Then again this function will be called and these things will be performed, again this will be called and this new array will be resetted, again re-render will be invoked again. So this cycle will keep on going, and because of this only this error is occurring. So in order to resolve this, what we can do is we will just call a arrow function to resolve this issue, okay. We came here and we will do this, call this arrow function as a arrow function, okay. And now we are going to save it. Now let's go to the browser and see whether it is resolved or not. Now you can see that thing is resolved, okay. Now you got the answer why that happened, okay. So but whenever I'm clicking this, only x is appearing. Why? Because I haven't wrote a condition for 0 to appear, okay, or the turn of 0. So in order to do that, what we are going to first take, we need to keep a track of what exactly whose turn it is. Is it X turn or is it zero's turn? So in order to do that, we can take a use state with, I will name it toggle the value, okay? Toggle value, toggle value of square. You might be wondering why I'm writing this much long variables, okay? So it is just a good practice to always define the name of the variable in such a way that if somebody is looking at your code, then he can like totally understand what that variable is doing or what that function is doing, okay. So I'll take it false, okay. So whenever it is false, then I will just make assumption then that it is the turn of x, okay. And whenever the value is true, then I will make the assumption that it is the turn of 0, okay. I will comment this out and I will just copy paste this thing only, and here only I will just pass 0, okay. And once this is done, let's save it and go to our browser and now try playing it, but still this X is only appearing everywhere. Why? Because though we have used this toggle value of square, but we are not at all changing its value. Once it is declared as false, we are not at all changing its value. So in order to change its value, I will call this set toggle value of square function, and I will give this not operation, not symbol, and I will write this. So whatever it might be the value, if it is false, then it will make it true. If it is true, then it will make it false. Okay, now I will save it. Now let's see whether this condition is working or not. First, I will take it is x turn. Now it is y zero's turn. Now 0 appeared. Now it's x turn. X appeared. Now it's 0 turn. 0 appeared. Now it's x turn. X appeared. Now it's 0 turn. 0 appeared. But as you can see, this is we have achieved all this. But there is one more thing to go. Like we need to declare a winner. And so in order to declare a winner, if all the x is present in this row, or in this row, then x will win, or if it is 0 is present on all these rows, then 0 will win. And similar way diagonally and in the column as well. If you would have played tic-tac-toe, then most of you already know that if the same symbol is present in all this column, in all this row, or diagonally or this way, then the winner can be declared. Okay, so now moving ahead, let's create a function which will decide which is gonna win the mm, like this game. So we will write a function check winner. Okay, so what it is going to do, it will check the winner or check the similar symbols in the row, column, or diagonally. So for that we will take a array which will represent uh, like uh, winning probability array, probability array, or winner array. Okay, winner array we can assign it name. Okay, so now inside this, first what we are going to do, if the same symbol is present at 0, 1, or 2. Okay, in a similar fashion, right now we are just writing for rows. Now, if it is present at 2, comma, no, 4, comma, 5, comma, 6, or 6, comma, 7, comma, 8, then the rows are covered in this. Now we will cover the columns 0, then 3, then I think 6. Okay. Now moving ahead, we'll take another comma, then 1, comma, 4, comma, 7. Now 2, comma, uh, I think 5, comma, 8. Okay. So now the all the columns are also covered. Now diagonally 0, comma, 4, comma, 8, and 2, comma, 4, comma, 6. So these are all the probabilities. These three are for rows. These three are checking for column. Then these two are checking for diagonals. Okay. Now what we are going to do? Now we will iterate through the this array. Okay. So we will take let I is equal to 0. Then I is less than the length of this array. Winner array dot length. Okay. Then I plus plus we will do. Now inside this, what we are going to take? We will take all these three variables at a time. These things inside some variables, we will take these values. So we will call it a, b, comma, c. Okay, and abc of winner array. Winner array, what is that? I. Okay, now let's check this. I think something I have messed it up. So here it won't be off, it will be is equal to. So we are taking the values of ABC out of this winner's ith index. If you will check, this one is the ith index. So I took the value of 0, 1, and 3 out of it inside ABC. Okay. Now what we are going to do, if 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 square, what is the name of the square array? A has some value. Okay. It should not be null. Okay. A, and then the square array A should be equal to strictly we will check triple equal to. What it does, it checks the data type as well apart from the values. And then square mm, A is equal to square C. Okay, if this all these conditions are met, then what we can say, we can return the square A. Okay, because that will be the winner, not set square. It will be just a square array. Okay, we will return this because that will be the our winner. And if all these conditions are not met, then what we are going to do, we will just return null from this function. Okay, that means the winner has not been decided yet. I think you would have I will reiterate it again. So if there is some value present in the square array at the a index, then only it will proceed ahead with checking this thing. If it is a null, then it will be of no use checking the other conditions. Okay, then this should be not null, then a should be equal to bth index and square a is equal to cth index as well. That simply means that zeroth index should be equal to 1 index and zeroth index should be also equal to 3. That's how we will declare the array. Now it's time, where should we call this array? Okay, so whenever we are clicking this, at that time only we need to call it. But before this, let's check something else also. There is some issue with this tic-tac-toe game right now. Let's see what is that. If I will press here X, then again if I'll press here, then it is changing the value here only. Okay, then this is not correct. Okay, if I'm pressing it multiple times, it is changing the value. So before changing the value, let's check it. If the value of a square is not null, then we will just return null. Okay, return from here itself. Okay, now let's go and see. Okay, some error it is throwing. It is saying like I is not defined. Okay, where I is not defined, I have defined I here. So why it is saying I is not defined, I is equal to less than, what is the issue? 9, line 9, 20. Let's go to 9. Okay, here I is not defined. Okay, okay, okay. I have taken index. Okay, so I need to check the index as well. Okay, no issues. Now let's save it. Now refresh it. Now let's see whether that thing is happening again or not. Let's press X. Now if I'm continuously pressing it, nothing is changing. Now here also if I'm pressing, nothing is changing. So that thing is resolved. Okay, so now what we are going to do, this thing is met. Now here only we will check the winner as well. Let's check the winner. Here only we will call this function check winner and we will pass this. There's no need to pass anything. It will work just fine. Okay. No, we'll have to pass the squares array because here I am calling this square array, right? And here inside this function square is not mentioned anywhere. So we'll have to call the square array inside it. So now this is how it will check for the values of the square inside square array. The okay. So now here I'll pass square array. Now I'm going to save it. Okay. Okay. So if it is returning something, then let's console dot log, because console dot log it will declare the winner, right? So now here I will check if some winner is being declared or not. Console.log. I'm checking winner. Okay. Okay. I should declare a string checking king winner, and here I will just write square array A. Okay. Not Q, it's A. Okay. That's cool. Now let's see. We will go in the browser and let's see whether everything is working fine or not. So X, then I will click, it will appear 0, then X, then 0, then X, then 0, then X. So now you can see that the console is printing the winner. That's nice. So what I will do next. So I will just keep a track of this function, whether this any winner is there or not. So in order to do that, I will take const winner of the game. Okay, then what I'm going to check the winner will call. I'll pass the square array inside it. Now I will take a status which will keep a track of whether there is a winner or if there is some other player's turn. Okay, so status. Now if winner of the game is declared, then status will show like winner of winner of the game is, and a winner of the game. Okay, nice. Now in the else condition, if no winner is there, then it will say like the next move is off. Then here we can decide whose next move it is. Like if it is, uh, let's if what is the condition? Let's see. If toggle value is false, then it will be of x, else it will be of 0. Okay, so now what we are going to do here in order to show that, we will just collapse this and we will take two divs here. Okay, div, then two divs separately will take. Inside one div we will show the board, and inside one we will show the status. Okay, now let's save it. Let's go to our board. Okay, now let's refresh. Yeah, let's give some space as well here. Okay, it's not appearing fine. Okay, let's click it now. Next move is okay. So x, now next move is of 0. Now you can see everything is appearing. X, then 0, then x. So the winner of the game is x. Winner of the game is x. Okay, now the winner is declared. So that's why the game ended and the winner is X. Okay. So far we have achieved a lot of things. We are going to see a very interesting thing, how we can undo our moves and check, go to like we can kind of time travel and we can go to our previous moves and we can check and go to our next move as well. So we will use the property of immutability here. So what we are doing here currently, as you can see, we are not directly mutating this array. Is it? It is like as it is. We are just making the changes in this new array, right? So what happens initially? It will be like this null, and then we will change this array and assign the value to this. So directly we are not modifying this array. So the property of this array remains intact. So in order to like achieve this time travel thing, like redo undo our moves, what we are going to implement. So let's start implementing it. So first of all, what we are going to do, we will try to move this object inside a new this elements inside a new component. We will make a new component for this, and let's make a new component like board.jsx. Okay, and we will declare this. Now we will move this thing inside this board. Okay, but now what we are going to do, we will call this board here, BORD board, or we can like totally move everything. that was previously here. Everything we can move there. Okay, this whole thing we will move inside this board component that we have newly made, and now we will handle everything of this board component from our main component, this app.js. So here what we are going to do, where we will call this board component first. Okay, then we will just pass these things as well, which were like important to that component for its working. Handle click also, all these things we will move inside that board component. Okay, so here we will move everything here. We'll save it, and now we will handle the its state from this array. So first of all, what we are going to do, instead of this we will take a history array. Okay, this will be a 2D array. We will name it history array or just history. Let's name it history array, then set history array. Okay, now what we are going to do, we will declare this array. This will be a 2D array, so we will use this and we will just copy paste this inside it. Okay, nice. So this array has been declared. Now after that, what we are going to do, we will just move, we will pass this toggle thing inside this as a prop, like what we are going to name it. Mm, X is next. Okay, like the next move or something. No, X is, let's name it X is next. Okay, and we will pass this toggle value. Okay, here. Now then we are going to pass a function as well, which will be handle play. Handle play function we will pass, so that we can manipulate the state of board from our main component. Okay, then what we are third thing is squares array. Okay, squares array that was already present there, so we will pass here the current array. And what will be the current array? Now we will just take our current array, is that will be our history array dot, inside this history array it will be history array dot length minus 1. So whatever array will be, that will be at the minus 1th index of this history array will be passed on to it. Okay, this will reflect the current array that we are like dealing with. Okay, so now we will save it, and then these values also we need it here, so we will pass here like a prop. X is next, then what else is there, on play. Okay, on play will pass, then squares array will pass, or what is the value that has been used here for square? Yeah, it is square array only. Okay, that will be fine then. Square, it is square array. Okay, we will take square array so that we don't have to change a lot of things here. Okay, nice. We'll save it here, then we'll save it here as well. So this on play, we are not calling it anywhere, and we haven't defined the handle play as well. Handle play function we will take. Okay, and then we will just do some console log for now. Okay, inside. Okay, I went somewhere else. So inside play, handle play, we can write handle play. Okay, for now, so that at least it will grab the value of this function. Then on play is here. So what we are going to do now, on play will take this new array's value and it will help us in setting the value here current inside the current array and history array as well. Okay, basically in the history array. Okay, so what we are going to do, as you can see, these things are this one and this one is repeated in both if else conditions. So I will just move this up here. Okay, and this one I will move downwards. Okay, so now I can remove this totally. Okay, and this has been removed. I will just prettify it. Okay, now issues. Now I will call this on play function here, and it is taking the value of this new array now. Then x is next. What is what it will do? I will pass it here. X is next, and here as well. Okay, to change the value. But as this value is not being changed for now, let's keep it. Okay. Now we are taking this value. It's great. Set. Now what we are going to do? Button is not defined. It is saying so. Let's import this button component as well before proceeding any further. Okay. Button component we will go and we will save it. Okay, so some of the things are already done. Now let's go and check. Your set toggle square is not defined here. Okay, so I will remove it for now. Okay, let's remove it. Now let's save it. Okay, now let's go here. Toggle value of square is not defined. Okay, and where is this error occurring? 53 line number. Okay, let's check the line number 53. Where is it? Okay, x is next. We will write here. X is next. Okay, nice. Now we'll save it. Now let's see. So now handle play is not defined. It is saying handle play. How is it not defined? Handle play. Let's see now. Now it's good. Now let's see how everything is working. Handle play is getting called, but nothing is being printed right now. So now what we are going to do, we will describe the functionality of this handle play function. So now what will this handle play will do? So whenever this button is getting clicked from now on, whenever this button is getting clicked, then it will call handle click. Okay, and inside the handle click, what will happen? The same things will happen, but it will call this on play thing here, and it will set this new array here. Okay, and once this has been set, we will take this as next array here. Okay, and after taking this, what we are going to do, we are going to set the history array. We'll set the history array. How we are going to set it? We will spread this history array, then we'll slice it. Okay, after slicing it, we will put this next array inside it. Okay, so this is how we are going to, no, just not slicing and all. We just need to spread this history array and we will append this next array. So what it will do, like suppose the previous array looked something like this: null, comma, null, comma, null. Okay, so now what will happen? And this array is inside a 2D array. So this array, one array got added here. Now this previous array will be, by doing this, this previous array will remain inside this array only. But after when once we are doing this, then what will happen? It will create a new array. And suppose the player was X and he made his move here. So it will store something like this now. Okay. In a similar fashion, if 0 plays the next move, then whatever place he will play, X place will remain the same. Then null will come, then the place where he played his move, then it will be reflect saved like this. Okay, so after this what we are going to do, we are going to change the thing, like if x played the last move then it is the term of 0. So how we are taking care of that, we will call this and set toggle value, and we will plus this toggle value of square. Okay, now after this what we are going to do, we need to track the moves as well, which moves and who is playing the moves, like not the number of moves. So now let's keep a track of that as well. So in order to do that, we will take a moves array, and we will iterate over this history array. We will use map to iterate over it, and every is square we will take it as array. Okay, now what we are going to do, now we will spread this, then we will take a variable add description which will describe it. Okay, if the move, this move is greater than 0, then what will happen, this description will contain like game the move number. Okay, like hash, okay, not dollar hash plus the move, we can write it here. Okay, now else if it is 0, then what we are going to say, uh, play the first move or something, is start over or something. If it is a start the game, we can say start the game. Okay, because the move number is 0. If we want to like keep a track of this as well, then we can mention it here like this. Okay, now, and we, whenever we are iterating through the map, then we need to see something on the UI as well that will reflect the number of moves that have been made. Okay, so what we are going to take a list element, and inside that we will pass a button component. Okay, and inside this button we will keep our description. Okay, and on click we will pass a function, arrow function here. We can like pass the this move number. Okay, we can move it like jump to move, and here we will pass the move. Okay, because we have to do something after getting this move number as well in order to undo and redo the things. So now what we I am going to do is declare the OL order list. First take a div, then I will take a order list, and inside it I will place the moves array. Okay, now let's take this board element also inside the our div, so that after some time we can do it like style these both as well. Okay, now this thing is done, moves is done, we are keeping a track of moves. Now let's go to our UI, let's see how everything is looking. So jump to move is not defined. Okay, jump to move is not defined, so let's come up here and we will define this thing first. The next move, we will pass it as next move here. Okay, now let's see, now it has been defined. Okay, but as you can see, the moves are appearing here now. Okay, 1 0 1 2 3 4, the moves is appearing, but nothing is being happening right now. So now inside this jump to move, we will keep a track of the moves as well. So in order to do that, we will take a current move as well, current move, set current move, and we will use useState to store the value of this current move. Okay, so here what I'm going to do, I'm going to set the current move as this next move. Okay, and after doing that, I want to just toggle the value as well of this thing. that X has played the move or Y0 has played the move. So I will toggle this value as well here. Okay. So what I'm going to pass here is like I will check next move and I will like divide it by 2 if it is 0. If it is throwing 0, then it is the like if it is true, then 0 will play its move. If it is false, then X will play its move. Okay. Now we have achieved this. Now I'll save it and we'll go here. Okay, X0, X0, X0 is coming. But now still I can't like time travel or undo or redo anything. Okay, as if now. So now I'll go back and here we'll have to do some things here. Handle play inside. Now here what we are going to do. So once the jump to button is clicked, here whenever a user clicks the jump to move button, then move will be passed and the move will be passed here and the current move will be set to that move. Okay, and we will toggle the value of this toggle this value as well. If it is like next move is divisible by not like we can make it divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, then it will be true, and if it is not divisible by 2, that means if the move is odd, then it will always print 0, and if it is even, then it will print uh, it will give false and it will print X. Okay, so now moving on to when once this is current move is set, then it will re-render, and once the what we are going to achieve here like next history we'll make. So once this is current move is set to next move, then what we want to remember the array till that point only, till that move only, and the rest of the part we want to ignore. Okay, so we just need to store that much only till this move is set. So what we are going to do, we will spread this history array and we will slice it, and we will slice it from 0th index to current move plus 1. Okay, and the rest we don't want to store. And then what we are going to do, we will store this next array. Okay, so and after that what we are going to do, we will remove this, it is no of no use. So we will set this history array to this next history. Okay, we will say assign this next history array inside this history array. Okay, and after that what we are going to do, we will also set this current move to reflect the like the move that has been clicked right now, that is being that the user can see right now. Okay, so what will it be, it will be like next history dot length -1. Okay, so now set toggle, uh, mm, we can leave as it is. Okay, then we can save it, and now most of our things are almost done. Current move is this. Now let's go and try if everything is working fine. Then we will remove it here. We will refresh it again. So X, it is odd, then it is printing X. It is even, so it is printing 0, X, 0, X, 0. Okay, so now I want to go to game 5. Okay, so it is not moving. What is causing the issue right now? So let's see. Next history -1, it is slicing here, and now what we are going to do, okay, so every time this current array is reflecting the final value, but we want to show the current value as well, current value. So what we are going to do, we will pass the current move here, so now it will show the current value. of the moves. Now let's save it, and now let's refresh it again and play it. Mm, Now, now let's go to fourth move, and you can see that the X is gone. Now we can go to five move. It is coming back again. And let's go to third move. Then you can see it is moving. Then zeroth move. Then they start the game. Then I can go to one, two, three, four, back as well, forward as well. So this is how we can undo and redo the things here. And one more thing, like now we don't actually need this toggle thing because we have already have current move. So and we can like directly see what this toggle value will be. So if the current move is even, then it will be 0, and if it is odd, then it will be x. So let's write this down and remove this set toggle from here. We can directly, whenever there is a chance to, like, if we do not require the use states, then it's better not to use them. So we can just directly use this current move. If it is divisible by 2 is equal to initial value I will pass as not divisible by 0. Okay, 0. If it will be true, then it will be the turn of 0, and if it will be false, then it will be the turn of x. Now let's save it. Now let's again set toggle is not defined 22 3. Now let's go to 22. Okay, here set toggle is not defined. Now we can remove it from here as well. Now we can save it. Now we can go here. Now zeroth index is coming because there has been a slight twist. The rest of the thing will be working fine. So the initial value I had taken as 0. So the initial value I will take it as false. Okay. Now it will work perfectly fine. The initial value will be 0 x, and the final value will be the next move will be of 0. Okay. So now I can time travel as well. I can go back, go forward as well in the moves. So now it's time to like decorate our stuff. Let's see how we can do that. So app is there. So let's give some styling to app, our app class. Where is it? Let's give it display flex. Display flex. Okay. Now it will appear side by side. Okay. Not appearing. Okay. Let's see. Now given still compiling. Let's give it some time. Till then we can go here, come here, set the button component, and what we can do, we can give this button component some styling on our own, of our own. So now you can see it is appearing side by side. Okay, now it is looking much more better. Now I will move this to on top of that. Okay, so in order to do that, what I'm going to do, I will cut it from here, then I will paste it here. Now it will appear on top. Okay, you can do other styling as well if you want. And this video has already become very long, so let's give it some style and we can be done with it. Okay, so be background color, we will give it, what do you want? Background color blue. Blue is not available, I think. Mm, then let's type it blue and let's see whether it is available or not. So yeah, it is available. Blue is looking fine. Let's give it a sky blue. Maybe it will be a little better. It is much better. And what we can do, text color or something is there? No. So we will just give it color. color, we can give it white. Okay, now let's see how it will appear. So white it is appearing, so it is much better. Let's see how blue will appear. So this is also good, kind of. And this also we can give it some color if you want. Now it is quite nice. Okay, so no one win still. Let's see, X one winner of the game is X. We can go to one move, fourth move, seventh move, anything we want. Okay, so this is how we can implement a tic-tac-toe game, and we also saw how we can like implement time travel, that is undo and redo the moves. So it is very good to learn. So hope you guys would have liked it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you liked it, then please do comment, like, and share it with your friends, and subscribe as well. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.